of you. Good afternoon. So we'll be starting with a session on Make in India. As all of us know what Make in India is all about, it was launched by our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, on 25th of September 2014. Now, the reason as to why it was launched, Make in India, was to increase the income generation, generating the income as well as the current generation that is in. They are unemployed. So we need to remove the unemployment status in our country. To remove the unemployment status, we need to manufacture products and we need to export. We are more into imports than exports. So once we are exporting our products, we are getting the influx of funds in our country. When we were listening to Mr. Modi when the campaign was being launched, the main emphasis that he gave in his speech was with regards to three basic points. He wants through this campaign, that is Make in India, food on every table. Then he wanted every child should go to a school and every family and every house should have a toilet as well as electricity. These are the basic amenities and needs which are required by each and every individual to sustain a basic decent life. When I'm talking of basic decent life, we are talking with regards to our sustenance in a manner by which we can grow further. And we can grow only when we are united. So the foreign investors that were given, he told that we are not inviting them. Every time invitation cannot be given. So when they see us united, growing, becoming developed from developing status, that is the time when we say that we have grown to an extent which we wanted to. So that is all Make in India concept where we are stressing more into manufacturing units. Prime Minister Modi said you can sell your products and services to whichever area, whichever country you feel like. The main emphasis is produce and manufacture in our own country, India, so that we are giving a boost to the manufacturing sector and making India a manufacturing hub. So there are various concerns also. I'm not saying it is foolproof, but yes, we do have certain constraints and we do have certain benefits to the campaign which we'll be discussing later. So I can ask the forum as to what all concerns we have found in the India campaign.
To add on to ma'am's point, does anyone know what the Make in India logo is? Okay, so the people I did ask what the Make in India logo is was pretty clueless. They had no idea, and it's basically a line. So, like ma'am said, the scheme was started on September 25th, 2014, and the main aim, Mr. Narendra Modi said, was to increase the GDP growth, and he aimed at a 25% growth in GDP, which right now the manufacturing sector, it contributes only 16%. So the Make in India initiative, the scheme, was based on four main points, and I would like to address it. Number one is new processes. Basically, like what ma'am said, we want foreign involvement, and that can only be done through FDIs, foreign direct investment. So making our country look a little more lucrative to abroad countries so that they can start their own ventures and start manufacturing their products. Two would be new infrastructure. Industrial corridors, building new industrial corridors and making smart cities to make sure that India does not lose track with the countries which are already developed and being on par with those countries too. Number three would be new sectors. So when Mr. Narendra Modi announced the Make in India scheme, he concentrated on 25 sectors which range from 25 sectors which range from automobile to IT and also to a certain extent hardware. So right now the FDIs which are coming in, they are concentrating mainly towards the railways and defense, which hopefully will improve over the coming years. And fourthly and lastly is a new mindset. Right now, India is more of a regulator than an initiator, as they are more of seeing the processes done rather than making sure they start the process, initiate the process. And that's what Make in India scheme is really after. So the line, like how I had started, the line with the gear wheels itself, it reflects the integral role of manufacturing government and the vision and the national development. It symbolizes manufacturing strength and national pride.
I just add to that lion logo. The logo of what we have with regards to Make in India, it is aligned with COGS, COGS, which means cost of goods manufactured here in India, either sold or resold. That is the whole component of COGS. Now here, when the FDI, as it was pointed out by my fellow colleague, the FDI, when we initiated, when this campaign got hit and initiated, the India, our country, got a good ranking, and we surpassed USA and China in the ranking of FDI. So globally, we were placed at a very good position.
It is no secret that India has a problem of unemployment. One of the main objectives of the Make in India campaign was to curb this and to raise employment. Our Prime Minister has a vision of 100 million jobs by the year 2022, and that can be done by Make in India, by setting up manufacturing units in the most rural areas, because that's where it can be set up. And by doing that in maybe, if we say 25 different sectors, imagine the growth in each of the rural area and the ancillary industries that will accompany this.
So when I'm talking with regards to constraints, there are certain concerns also. Or maybe we can just club in concerns and constraints and we can talk a bit on it.
So what we fail to realize is that just having a trending hashtag does not generate money, and that is what our Prime Minister is doing today. And where the problem arises is when you think of where and what to produce. Modern manufacturing is capital intensive, so that basically contradicts employing people and creating more jobs. And the two targets of Make in India was to go up the value chain and also increase jobs, which is clearly contradictory, because as and when you go above the value chain, you become more capital intensive rather than creating jobs. And also, Make in India needs a lot of infrastructure, large-scale infrastructure, which needs a lot of land and water and other resources, which is scarce in our country. So these are few of the main concerns that we face. Apart from that, we do not have skilled labor. Our education system has failed to move with time, and that's why we do not have skilled labor that is required for such a campaign on such an international level.
Can we have a discussion on the ailing infrastructure that India was facing with regards to Make in India concept? That is why it came in here. Can we have a point with regards to ailing infrastructure or red tapeism or the bureaucracy problem?
When we talk about ailing infrastructure, we can talk about ease of doing business. Previously, India was ranked 130th, and now it's come to 100th. That's an improvement, but that's nowhere close to what it can be and what it should be. Previously, there was a lot of red tapeism, bureaucracy. There was a lot of issues in getting electricity for companies to get registered, credit facilities. There was a lot of problems when it came to paying taxes and, of course, skilled labor.
Sorry. As Indians, all of us, what is the thing we most commonly associate India to be? A lot of corruption, a lot of time taken, and basically nothing which will be done to perfection. And that's what I would like to reiterate Nidhi's point is, yes, we have improved from the ease of doing business index. We were 134 and we most probably will hit 50 by 10 years. And even though it's improved, there is so much still going on, like rate tapeism and bureaucracy. I would like to go in more depth and quote few statistics. So contract enforcement takes 1420 days, and going through 12 procedures for starting any business. And starting any firm, whichever you like, would take about 27 days. There's chronic infrastructure and logistics and the transport, any transport whatsoever. I mean, we travel by our roads every day. We know how horrible and hectic getting from one place to another place is. And that can be seen in business as well. Also, and the main concern for all of us is the education. Like as of 2016, the 67% of the employed people are unskilled. That means they have no education whatsoever. And keeping in mind that we are living in a generation which is susceptible to robots being taken over, and basic common data entry jobs being done by robots, we have to keep that in mind and make sure that we move ahead with the times.
Even our medical side, when we are talking of our medical infrastructure, that also have been taken over, or it has initiated and started taken over by the robots. Some of the operations have been conducted by the robots themselves. So it's actually quite scary to know how India can be taken over by the robots and what will be the plight of humans here. Will we be just ruled by these robots there, and who will be guiding them or who will be controlling them? That's a bit skeptical answer. But yes, when we are growing, we need to grow in a way by which we can get maximum for our country and grow to the hilt. Now, yeah.
I think another concern would be the political scenario in our country, where each party wants their personal benefits to take the front seat rather than development of the country. So in such a situation, what happens is no bill in the parliament gets passed. Like many bills like land acquisition bill and even the GST for that matter took some time to get passed in the parliament. So rather than development being the foremost concern of our political parties, it's their personal convenience and personal benefits that is important.
Another concern could be something related to Skill India, which is also related to Make in India. The whole concept of Skill India was for rural people, unemployed people to get skill and to find much more lucrative jobs. But you can't really expect farmers to leave their houses, their homes, their region, their land and develop a skill and move to a city. So that's why more jobs should be created and manufacturing units should be built in their regions so they don't have to get displaced.
Also, keep in mind that 60% of the total GDP, 60% is from agriculture alone. I just want to add that.
So as to everyone knows that India is mainly known for its agriculture, and it's also known as the backbone for its agriculture. So let's, if Make in India would take its initiative in some way to make sure that the land expansion of factories would reduce, because as we all notice these days, most of them are busy acquiring lands for which they're not even authorized to. Okay, and those lands are majorly towards agriculture in a way. They're majorly based on agriculture. So here what happens is, as and when you try to expand your industry or your factories, you only make sure that those agricultural lands are soil erupted. You have landscapes which will cause landslides very soon, no proper waters, and as you increase your factories or as you expand your factories, the only thing you guys would be doing is simple as this. You would create more of noise pollution, the more of air pollution, the more of water pollution, and all such pollutions would rather go away. So what they should have rather tried to do is, they first should have tried to do something for the farmers, because now in India we see more farmers committing suicide and so many other things, which is brutal. But rather Modi is busy having a viewpoint of how to expand an industry which doesn't even make sense. No man or no human being can live under a pollution for a longer period of time. There was even a movie released for pollution. I guess Flying Jar was one of it. You guys would have seen the movie and realized how much of pollution one industry can create. One factory can produce so much of toxins. And even we have in our own Bangalore so many examples of factory, lot of pollutions. For example, the lakes that have been contaminated through pollutions, and all such things are being caused only through one concept and one campaign. So rather than making sure you grow your industries, you can make sure something which is useful, not just for a shorter period of time, but should be a longer period of time. The one thing that I would like to tell is, Make in India campaign is just for a shorter period of time. Because if you go on acquiring most of your lands, there won't be proper food. No one's going to get proper food as we want. and the prices of onions are all raised high. Now tomatoes are like diamonds, everyone knows that. No one can buy a kg of tomatoes these days. I get 20 rupees tomatoes at home, I can't buy even a 1 kg tomato at home. Because tomato prices have come high. Why? Because of no proper soil, no fertility in the soil anymore. Because we keep digging, we only keep making the fertility of the soil lose it. And then we add so much of cement, we add so many chemicals to it, soil's gone for a toss. Who's going to take responsibility of the agriculture that's been destroyed now? Who's going to take the responsibilities of the farmers who have committed suicide and their families and their children? No one's going to do it. Modi is a great person, Modi is a prime minister, I understand all the stuff. But the thing is, has Modi ever been to the farmer's house to see how the family runs? No one's been there. So that also needs to be pointed towards this campaign when it's going about.
I just add, when we were talking with regards to pollution, as you pointed out, we don't have to watch movies. We are surviving in a place where we ourselves feel the brunt of it. And in the news recently, Delhi was all under the smoke. There were schools which were closed and shut down for around a week's time. More than that, beyond that, there were flights which were cancelled. So all these things are being added, and we don't have to go anywhere to see that. We are witnessing that ourselves. Why in Bangalore we are having so much problems with regards to our health? The main reason is because of this pollution. We are on the roads around for 5 hours in a day. We are traveling due to traffic. We are on the roads honking madly, or there is everywhere, wherever you go, there is congestion. So what are you doing? You are breathing a polluted air, because of which your system is not behaving properly. And all these things are adding tensions to your workplace, to your personal life, to your professional life. Because of that, we are stressed. And when we are stressed, our sugar levels will go up and down, our BP will go up and down, everything is not natural. So these are the things we need to start from the soil. When we are talking with, like you pointed, we are just taking away the fertility of the soil, because we are, as you pointed out, we are digging and just making it something which can be sold or which can be put into a better place, but we are just harassing our nature. All those things are good in a way, but yes, they are bad in a way. We are trying our maximum to gain benefit out of it.
So basically the main part of improvement of skill making India is like India has a lot of skill and knowledge, but these are the main forces which divides the economic growth of India. So basically India has a great way to improve the labor, as according to a stat, in the whole world the labor increases by 4%, but in India the labor can increase by 32%. This gives the idea of what the main challenges which are faced by India in the future regarding making India. Basically, when PM Modi started this campaign, the main objective was to improve manufacturing in India. But the thing which he didn't focus on is making the products directly from India, rather than copying the design of the products outside India. So the main points which can translate this vision into a success is skill. Prime Minister Narendra Modi didn't give enough focus on the skill graduates, because Make in India requires more skilled graduates than just degree holders. So the process which he can undertake to improve the way of improving Make in India is like he can introduce STEM program, STEM learning programs in schools and children, so that this affects the Make in India campaign. He rather didn't import restrictions. He fixed too many import restrictions from the beginning, and rather he could facilitate more technological inputs in manufacturing in India. So Make in India basically develop infrastructure to such an extent so that this will affect the production in India. So basically he had to reduce the land taxes and import taxes from outside, so that machinery can be imported, while he can import more products. He can manufacture more products which will reduce the cost input. So he unfortunately building products designed outside India rather than designing the own products in India. So he created a nice model
one question. May I know some of the other constraints and concerns that you think Make in India campaign should have answered or should answer? Or there are constraints to this campaign as such? Anything which you feel it is up to you, an individual specific concern. Anything which you think is something which is beyond limits and you should be doing something about it. Can we discuss future prospects of this Make in India campaign? What will be the future prospects of this campaign? Because we are talking of too much industrialization and too much growth. When we will be growing, the GDP of the country will rise because we are adding from our side an individual specific output to the company will be adding to the economic output will be finally tending to grow. Because that's the BCG, the Boston Consultancy Group that will be rating our country. So when we are talking of these GDPs growing, and when FDI from 15 to 25% when it reached, when we were initiating this campaign, what could be the future prospects? How will this help? Or what are the schemes that are already being launched by Mr. Modi with regards to an automobile sector or maybe the textile sector? Can anybody just throw some light on it?
I'm a bike fanatic, and since the whole Make in India initiative, there has been a lot of increase in the automobile sector in terms of bikes especially, where there have been factories, lots of factories as a matter of fact, ranging from Aprilia to Dukes to even BMW, luxury bike, which is one of the initiated around 2018. So from that perspective, yes, even though there are a lot of flaws with regard to Make in India, like how you said, in terms of natural resources being depleted, land being unnecessarily bought and not used, there have been some positive effects too. With the land bought, manufacturers are using the land. They are manufacturing, making their own products and stamping the Make in India stamp on it.
He has, PM Narendra Modi has told we have to produce, manufacture goods all in India, but he has also told in the tagline that we should take care of the environment. With manufacturing, even he is looking for the aspect of the environment, phase of manufacturing. So it's taking a long time. It's taking a long time. And he's also looking on equalizing the economic distribution among the high class people and low class people by providing the low class people job opportunity in manufacturing industries.
The government has launched several initiatives recently to help this campaign. For example, GST. That is one indirect tax that improves the ease of doing business. Also, the very recent insolvency and bankruptcy code that hastens the process of clearing out every bank's non-performing assets, and because of which banks can grant more credit for more industries to set up.
As we were discussing about the bikes, there is something with the cars. When I'm talking of Make in India campaign, there is a future prospect with regards to Fiat Chrysler, who are supposed to launch their SUV segment, and this project will be called as 556 or M6. Now they will be manufacturing in Maharashtra, Ranjangaon plant, and they will be producing around 20,000 units of this particular segment of this SUV in a year's time, which will be priced at 20 lakhs to 25 lakhs. So all these things are a way by which we are looking for fund influx in India, so that the money is flowing, the liquidity is there, and we are growing at our maximum.
I would like to ask the audience, how many of you know what is FDI? What's FDI? Okay. How many of you know how it works exactly? Okay, so basically what foreign direct investment does is just one company or any of the aspects in the sectors. So here, I would like to tell nearly $63 million are been invested in India alone, and those investments are put across to different sectors. And the two major sectors for now, which we all know, would be the defense sector and the railway sector. So 40% of this investment was put across to the defense sector, and then 100% was put across to the railway sector. But the thing is, the cabinet tells that FDI is not supposed to put so much of investment to the railway sector alone. So what the government does is, it puts 40% extra, 40 along with another 23% extras to the defense sector to make sure it increases the defense of India. As we all know that there have been a lot of terrorist attacks in the recent years. So what Modi is trying to do right now is try to increase the defense sector by getting certain military equipments from abroad to make sure that defense of India is high. So the thing here, what I would like to tell you all would be that FDI in a way is good to us. It increases our economy in a lot of aspects. It is financially good in all the ways to us. But in another way, we gotta look at how we ourselves are surrendering our own motherland to some other country. How many of you would like when someone from the outside comes in and acquires your home, acquires your bedroom and says, "This is my room, I'm not allowing you to sleep here"? How many of you would like that? None of us, right? Same way that's been happening here right now. So majorly we are majorly depending on China for all our products. For example, during Diwali, we burst so many crackers and so many things. We even light up those Chinese lanterns. I don't know for what. Diwali is meant for those tiny flower type lanterns we got here. Instead, I went across a lot of scenarios this Diwali especially. I saw people lighting up Chinese lanterns for Diwali. I didn't understand for what. Chinese lanterns are specially lit. The purpose was scaring away the red dragon, and there it is. But here Diwali is meant for another purpose. Why do you want to two cultures together? Is my question. And moreover, the point of Make in India has been also adopted from some other country. Whereas India has a potential and a capability of being so good that it can do anything on its own. To put across to all of you that Chinese companies alone pay its employees double the amount that gets paid to Indian employees over here. They need to work overnight to produce a lot of things. So what Chinese people do right here is, just because they have to get their works done, just because they have to produce so many cars, so many things, they pay the employees double. Okay, which in India, in Times newspaper mentions that in India alone, without paying so much, they can produce double. Imagine what would happen if Indian government would start paying double amount to the employees. Where would we be then? Where would our economy be then? So here's an example to put across to show how capable we Indians are, really. How capable and what are the things we could do if we are one together. You get me?
Just one point I add to the defense sector here. Defense is the core sector when we are talking with regards to Make in India. On 26th October last year, 2016, DAC, that is the Defense Acquisition Council, they gave clearance for manufacturing of submarines which were diesel enabled. And these electric submarines and diesel enabled will help our country. We will not be wasting much energy and will not be spoiling the ecosystem as such.
Since we've been speaking about FDI, according to RBI reports, FDI has in the manufacturing there's this scheme called the Merchandise Export from India scheme. There are interest equalization schemes and reduction in customs duty. So similar schemes can be launched in all the other 24 sectors so that you can increase the manufacturing in our country.
To reiterate the point, there has been a 48% rise in FDIs, but mostly it is all non-manufacturing sectors, which is 188.6 crore. That is way less compared to the manufacturing sectors. And also, India does have a comparative advantage to the number of laborers it has and the amount of work they can do. But there's this scheme, if I pardon my French, there's a scheme called JIT, which is just in time. So basically, what that means is that a company which uses this technology is Toyota. So they have this car and they produce it in a matter of few days. While India, even though it does have a lot of laborers, it won't take that soon. It will expand over months, even to a matter of half a year. Like, I own a Royal Enfield bike, and for a bike to be manufactured Royal Enfield, you have to wait a good 6 months or even more. So even though we do have a lot of laborers, the laborers are unskilled. And a recent statistics shows that 4.86% of the number of laborers are unskilled, only 4.86, compared to Germany, which lies along the range of 70%, USA, which is around 52%.
Continuing the FDI point, Make in India's initiative was basically launched to improve multinational and national companies manufacture their products in India. But this has an effect on the FDI as India's FDI is increased, surpassing the USA and the People's Republic of China. So India is just a mere, according to a ranking, India is just a mere decimal of 142 or 189 in business. But as if they can improve their laborers in a very nice way, but which is not going to be implemented. Like the way which Narendra Modi has implemented this plan is not up to the mark, so there might be some methods which are taken to improve it to come up with a
Just to add on to it, my friends, regarding the skill, Modi has also introduced something called a Skill India. Skill India. So, Skill India has been having a great impact on the country in a way. I'll let you know how. Oracle announced that it would build its campus of 2.8 million square feet in Karnataka alone, which would, recruit all these rural people to make sure they get proper skills. And we have also other various companies like Japan Private Limited, private sector. It's opening it's planning to it announced that it would build a sector of its own or a campus on its own in countries which other industries can't reach. For example, Gujarat. As we all know, Gujarat is Modi's own country. So, Gujarat, Karnataka and Bengal. It will reach all these countries. So, what I'm really trying to say here is, even though our skills are not that very developed, there are initiatives taken to develop our skills. And sometimes, we as Indians, most often, even though we get opportunities, we are like, we'll get another one, we'll get another one. This is what most of us tend to do. And sometimes it's like, as my friend told, to manufacture a bike, they take so many days. It's all just because, sometimes we as Indians, we become lazy. We need someone who could give a shot onto our butt and say, hey, get down and work over there, I need you to get that done. Sometimes it's really, we need someone to guide us. And through this Skill in India scheme, the only thing that has been done is that laziness and our skills are being improved a lot to make sure that no one ever comes and tells us what we need to do. We at least have an idea or a basic knowledge of what should be done, how it should be done. Because most of them now, I would like to ask you all one simple question. If your car ever broke down, would you know how to get it fixed again? How many of you know to get your car fixed again if it ever broke down? A handful of people would know it. What about the rest of us? We only would like call the garage guy and we'll be like, okay, let the garage guy come, he'll fix our cars. So the thing here, what is to be done is, he's making sure that everyone knows how certain things work, how certain things are done, so that we don't have lack of people towards certain sectors.
We have various reforms and policies which should be adding to the benefit of Make in India. When we were discussing with regards to various sectors of interest equalization scheme in the textile sector, we also have an automobile sector where Modi has planned for an automobile mission plan from 2016 to 2026, where he will be placing India as automobile manufacturing country. So here we will be dealing with only manufacturing of automobile and keeping our country as in the highest position. Now we'll be talking something with regards to the scope of improvement.
Make in India definitely has a lot of incentives to the manufacturers, such as different subsidies, area-based incentives, and also SEZs, that means special economic zones, where for a certain area there are different regulations for the benefit of the manufacturers. So, but I would like to stress on the main point, at least to me, which is education. Where, I mean, no offense, but in comparison to the West, their education is more practical. While we will take in a lot of theory, but if we were given a scenario or a situation, we wouldn't be able to implement that the theory we have done. So we should focus on education. We should focus on making sure the rural people know what they are getting into. Even in terms of demonetization, even though the initiative and the goal behind it was genuine, the way of implementing it was horrible. It was catastrophic to a certain matter where people are committing suicide. So, making sure that there are adequate facilities, making sure that the people who are sent out to teach are trained to make sure that whenever they teach their subject, they know what they're teaching, and we can provide good examples, good tutorial techniques.
Make in India, it focuses on manufacturing units. But if you want to bring in FDI to India, why does it have to be only manufacturing units? Can't it be anything service-based? At least to me, I believe that services generate less employment compared to manufacturing. But the Indian Railways is the second largest employer in the world. And even LIC, they employ 13 lakh people. So, if India were the traditional way like China did, started with agriculture, then manufacturing, now it's slowly getting into services. It took them 35 years to hit a double-digit GDP growth rate. But if India, instead of focusing completely on manufacturing, if it goes into services, it will reach them much faster. One more thing I'd like to say is, Make in India focuses on manufacturing units. But the thing is, Indian population, the majority of it are farmers. Like, it should be specific to them, and it should help them get employment, because they contribute to the largest part of the population. And a lot of farmers are going to loss nowadays. It's because of the shrinkage of land holdings. For example, if a person maybe 50 years ago had 10 acres, he has 2 sons, it's split into 5 acres each, and that's split into further, like a really small number, and ultimately it's an acre, and no family can survive on 1 acre. So the campaign should focus on that, on the farmers and what they can do, and how they can get out of the unemployment.
Talking about the point on education, think efficient techniques like on-the-job training, vestibule training, and other case studies would be very important, are important, and will be helpful in increasing the efficiency of our workers and ensuring that we have a skilled labor force.
Yeah, there are many ways in which skill in Make in India can help. Along with Make in India, when Modi, Mr. Narendra Modi launched Skill India campaign, so he didn't take into account the engineers who have potential, which no other country other than India, engineers are so capable of doing work. But in this case, the engineers don't take into account the work they are doing, but they rather use opportunities in which they are not taking.
Just to add on to my friend, the Japanese private sector is mainly mentioned for the engineers alone. So, in a way, there is a development of engineers. What I would like to tell you all would be that Make in India alone can't do anything. It's just because it's just a campaign. A campaign can't do anything. We all know what a campaign is. So what I would like to tell is the government behind the campaign should have a proper plan. The thing here is Make in India campaign. I guess one of the newspaper mentioned that Make in India campaign is a great initiative that has been put across. But the thing is, the government behind it has not planned anything. They don't, like for example now if we in case want to go somewhere, we have a plan A and a plan B. We would one day take a bus to reach the destination or plan B to go around through some other transport. Same way here, in this campaign there is only a plan A, but there isn't a plan B. So what I would like, there should be an improvement in a way where they have good thinking. And the government that has been put for such a campaign has no proper thinking, no proper mindset of what they should do and where they should reach. So it's in a way roaming aimlessly or putting no efforts absolutely.
When Narendra Modi did announce the campaign Make in India, he aimed at 25% GDP into 2025. And after demonetization and GST, our GDP has fallen as a matter of fact. I think it was 7 or 6.1%. Also, like Joseph said, the scheme is good, the idea is good, but the ways to implement it is bad. So when Narendra Modi did announce it, he quoted some absurd figures of 100 million jobs by this number of years, or 100 million jobs by 2020. While, as a matter of fact, the last 5 years, the government had put certain benchmarks. We have not even come close to crossing those benchmarks, let alone completing 50%. So, when the government introduces schemes and initiatives like this, they should keep in mind the population, the ways of getting there, because it's unnecessarily putting a lot of hope and a lot of unnecessary excitement towards the scheme, but there's no ways of implementing it, and that just creates a lot of negative energy in the whole group.
So when Make in India was initiated, like the main hindrances were GST and demonetization. The main effect which demonetization gave on Make in India is like it brought the whole country to a stop. People couldn't do anything with the money which they had, but basically which had a great impact on the manufacturing sector, which brought to a standstill and which brought to a great loss.
Okay, and one more thing would be that Make in India campaign is just increasing its industry. So in a way, GST also would increase. So now, if in a normal lifespan, if you have to buy a Parle-G biscuit which costs you around $5, a poor man, okay, if he has, nowadays a poor man can't sit and buy Cerelac and feed his baby. So the alternative for him is crush the Parle-G biscuit, add it to his milk and feed the baby. Now, what would a poor man do if the Parle-G biscuit that he used to buy for 5 rupees is going up to somewhere near 20 to 30 rupees? how would he buy? Has anyone thought of this before? And moreover, due to certain schemes that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced, there are a lot of effect on the public alone. First of all, GDPs are making poor people's life miserable, completely miserable, I say. Because certain things like biscuits and certain food products are not being bought by them nowadays. Because it all has a price of so high that a poor man has to just think in his dreams to buy all those nowadays. So one of the default in this initiative could also lead to the major cause of people losing on their lives as well. We could lose a lot of people in this process.
Of course, the homegrown shock of demonetization, we cannot ignore it because it has hit the consumer goods industry in a bad way. But whatever said and done, I think the reforms and the policies, the tax regulations, whatever has been introduced or advent or introduction of these policies will definitely get some relief in shaping the system